But you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Live to trade another day, live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Is it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything, not gon' get upset, just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future, up early just like a rooster, eyes glued to the computer looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do, buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna, cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams, wake up in mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Don't be scared, G, like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah, Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress, fur and loathing in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes, people hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious, shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age, life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared, what a imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all, hell no, not the unthinkable. Grow some balls if you got a pair, man, I double dare you to put it all in the market. No sir, I'm not trying to scare you. Seeking and searching, I need some more money. AI is scary, make us look like dummies. Serious about profit, I need it, I'm hungry. My music all over, but I'm from the country. Bank account thicker than Manuka honey. Got multiple wallets, don't go in my pocket. Either's a favorite, but I don't discriminate. Scared to get money, get the hell up out my face. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, live to trade another, live to trade another day. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Live to trade another day, live to trade another.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you a really quick metric that I found fascinating. So 41% of the people that have been watching this channel and actually liking the channel and the content have not subscribed. 41% of you, but I will say 58% of you subscribed. Amazing. You guys are doing awesome. But I want to say that the people that are not subscribed yet, please, won't you consider subscribing to the channel and joining the Dojo crew where we are educating ourselves. We're in the markets every single day. We're live streaming Monday through Friday, and we're also posting content on a daily basis that is keeping up with these cryptocurrency markets. And this is where the money is flowing right now, guys. So if you want to get these updates and you want to be ahead of the game, I suggest you start subscribing and dinging the bell to be notified whenever I go live and post content, because you do not want to miss it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. So that's my little sub bumper. What's going on? Just as a friendly reminder that, we have a lot of people that do tune into these live streams. The Dojo crew is what we call it. And we love every single one of you. Thank you guys for always supporting the show and the live stream, and just being fun and coming and hanging out with us and covering the news, covering the cryptocurrency ecosystems, looking at the charts, and we're making each other laugh. And so makes it a lot more fun when you guys are tuning in. But I want to remind you, if you're new or you're just coming in, you're wanting to learn about crypto, this is a great place, and everyone's super helpful and nice. And this is a good place to get started. We cover the news Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we hope you join the live streams on a daily basis. And we're going to give some shout outs to other people too who are on the grind on the live streams. And also just make sure you guys are just having fun. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot to cover today. We got some, breaking news. There's a lot of bullishness. There's a lot of screams of just major altcoin euphoria. A lot of tokenizations of public stocks. A lot of different options now for people to be trading tokenized stocks now 24/7, like without the stock market even being open. So now it's just like full game on 24/7, 365 trading of tokenized real world assets and access to different stable coins and different super apps are being built. Paul Atkins, the new SEC chairman, has given the green light to basically have good regulation for these super apps, which is basically going to be like Robinhood and X and all these different apps that are going to have basically everything in it: a chat, a social media aspect, the digital wallets that are inside of it, all of these different functions. Truth Social partnered with Crow, has made massive investments into the Crow ecosystem, crypto.com, to be running the rewards programs and different chain functions on Truth Social. So this is just the tip of the iceberg of what is the mammoth that is going to basically take down the Titanic, which was the old traditional financial systems. And I mean, this iceberg is going to basically just like take it down. And what's going to arise out of it is this new digital frontier, which we've already been going into, but now it's just we're getting all the right signals. So really what we need to think about is not just like the 4-year cycles or the bear market and bull market and things like that, but we just need to be aggressively investing into assets and digital assets, especially the digital economy, because compared to the rest of the value of all the asset classes in the world and values of companies and commodities and gold being at an all-time high of $25 trillion market cap, maybe even $26 trillion, and the NASDAQ breaking all-time highs, all of these things breaking all-time highs. And this should be the signal for us to be more bullish macro crypto, digital capital, internet markets, everything being on chain. And this is just a major signal. So we want to really go macro, and we also want to point out some ecosystems that are massively early because of the fact that a lot of these different ecosystems have taken a lot of market share. And this is why in the title we said, Pulsechain might be one of those final rotation in-game ecosystems. And there's all these different Easter eggs that I've been kind of finding on the timeline, and different connections between World Liberty Financial, the different connections between Trump and Richard Hart, the different connections between Elon and Richard Hart, and all these weird kind of almost cryptic messaging that is happening with symbolism and also just with like Binance hinting that they're going to be potentially listing all the Pulsechain ecosystem tokens, because no exchange yet has listed any of the Pulsechain
ecosystem tokens besides just Hex, you know. So I don't think there's any exchange that's actually trading, you know, these main Richard Heart ecosystem tokens. So just imagine when we actually start to get that different type of liquidity on top of what the community is already putting in terms of trading volume, and then CoinMarketCap ends up you know, ranking it truly for what it is, and also CoinGecko or just any of these major coin aggregators to show up and not gatekeep it. This is what I like looking at stuff like that, because then, you know, you're early, you're taking the same risk as anything else with the asymmetric upside, but I feel like, if anything, like, we know that there's a potential that we could have everything go to zero. We're all taking that bet. So I would much rather just, instead of not doing anything, I'd rather bet on the fact that we are, everything that I'm talking about right now is signaling for us just going massively on chain, and this value of the cryptocurrency, total cryptocurrency market cap, is going to get out of control. So guys, welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everyone is doing well. So make sure you can come in here. Please hit the like button. That is all I ask. Hit the like button, interact in the chat, share this live stream immediately, like make a post, do whatever you have to do to get this freaking thing out here, because YouTube is shadow banning me. That is just a fact. I'm getting shadow banned by YouTube, and they just are doing a terrible job at letting people know that I'm live, and it's ridiculous. Because I know that they're not telling the 3,000, however many subscribers I have. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. And then, we got Trade Intuition in the house. That's who I was going to give a shout out to. So he's been super cool. I've just been popping in his stream and kind of checking, seeing what everyone's doing. And he was very gracious to give me a nice shout out. And so I would say, because I don't, because I don't have any courses or anything like that, or trading courses that I sell, I'll just direct you to his, because I think he has a course, or he has a trading course. And so let's go to his channel real quick, and we'll give him a quick shout out. And so, if you go to Linktree, I bet Linktree, and then the Trade Intuition, and then you'll see all the ways that you can join the Telegram. You got the, and then look, so you can join with all that. So make sure you support the other creators and people making good content, and giving giving people a place that they can feel welcome and feel like they're in a community. It's very important, and especially when people are just super cool, So we appreciate Trade Intuition. So make sure you guys go support that. I'm sure all of the money is going to, good causes. but yeah. Okay. So basically, we're going to be covering some of the news. We're going to be, if you watch my video that I posted on X just a little bit ago, I just kind of did a walk and talk on what I think is happening here. And I think we are being bamboozled. And just without getting too esoteric about everything, or connecting dots like an Aquarius usually does with the tinfoil hat and the whole thing, I think that ultimately what is happening here is we are being bamboozled and gaslit to make us fight against each other, left versus right, black versus white, this conservative against this versus that, us versus them, and it's just very apparent now. It's just very apparent that is what is happening and playing out in real time. And whatever force is trying to get us to literally destroy ourselves from within and to try to destroy this country, they would love for us to be doing this. because it distracts us from the fact that there's something in the background pulling the strings and perpetuating this stuff. Because I have this theory that every time we get close and closer to seeing that truth and getting closer to the veil, like we start to see too much or we start to wake up, we get hit. I mean, don't you feel that every single time us as a people and as a society and as people start to wake up, they do something absolutely atrocious, the worst thing possible. It started with Jesus, the whole thing of Jesus and his crucifixion, and then ultimately the people turning against him was because he was speaking such a truth that shattered the very fabric of reality. No one, maybe in some little small aspects, was saying the things that Jesus was saying beforehand, but like John the Baptist was saying, none of what I'm saying is going to be compared to what is to come. That's powerful. That's crazy. And so when I think about that, how Jesus spoke so much of that truth and he was murdered for it in the most excruciating way, that's been happening for thousands of years, that every time something gets too close and starts to reveal the truth in mass numbers. And you got to think, actually, what's crazy is that I knew Charlie Kirk was powerful and he was popular, but he was getting a lot of people coming to those rallies. And what's amazing, and it was people from, quote, the left or liberals or right. It was a beautiful thing because it was getting people together to talk, get them on the mic, get them to speak their mind. And so that's powerful. And so it's just crazy that every time it feels like we're going to wake up, something just... So that was kind of like my thought. I've always had this thought, and now more than ever, I just see it. It's just like, oh, here's the playbook, and David Icke's been saying it. Yep, here's the freaking script to really pin people against each other to distract you from the truth. Like in the Matrix, what Morpheus was trying to explain to Neo, to distract you from the truth. And Neo asks, what truth? And so with the media coming out and saying that they found Charlie Kirk's killer, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, but I don't believe it. I'm over believing and thinking that all this stuff that we're seeing on the news and everything that's playing out sometimes has not already been somewhat orchestrated. And I'm not going to say that there isn't just stuff that just happens, but to a point of a level of what is happening right now, if you really connect the dots, it's just obvious at this point that they are pulling out all the stops. And I just have been having a really hard time looking at Trump and trusting Trump. You shouldn't trust these politicians fully, but I just, I've been praying that, I really hope Trump is playing some 24D chess. I really hope so. I really hope that because there's so many agendas probably playing out right now. And it's just, man, this would just be the greatest time for everyone in America to unite together and not fight with each other, unite together from this instead of going the opposite direction. So that's how I'm feeling about it. But how can we do this? We don't get distracted by fighting. We go, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Oh shit. Inflation. What about inflation? That's also going to kill people, and people losing their jobs could potentially kill people. We saw that COVID and people getting locked up and not being able to work killed people. So it's not just Charlie's the message. Charlie is the catalyst, and any of these heinous acts or whatever has been the catalyst to start to wake up and be like, oh my God, and not to wake up and radicalize yourself in the left or the right, but be like radicalizing yourself with Jesus and God and being like, how do I actually make a difference? What do I do to actually make a difference? And so that's what I've been, I guess, trying to talk to God and ask God like for help and ask God for what can I do to alleviate the confusion that is, I think, really one of the methods of the system is to confuse people and obfuscate. If you know what that obfuscation means, it means you're just like, you are completely putting like a false like sense of reality into a particular thing to formulate a perception of what is actually happening when there's something completely different happening. That's the actual like base layer truth. And so what I think is happening is a big obfuscation, because I think there probably was some tension of some people starting to wake up. And I'm sorry, and I think it makes me mad. It makes me sad. It makes me really angry that, there's like this like people are really thinking that there's just like an army of trans people that are going to radicalize against the right, or there's a radical, people on the right that are trying to hunt down trans people. And then there's just going to be some crazy battle between that, and then the battle between racist white and racist black. I'm like, that is absolutely insane. That is just insane to think that. I'm not falling for it, and I don't think you should either. I don't think you should fall for it. So that's all I got to say about that particular thing. Okay, so, and honestly, I'm probably not going to talk about it again in terms of I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Oh, I'm not going to talk about it again, because I might talk about it again. I might start talking about it again. But we're going to do our best to keep it crypto in here, but let's get down to the rabbit holes here. So I like all the symbols, the signs, the synchronicities, the messages, all of those things. They lead to the road of everything going on chain, like we've been talking about. And so here's Apple unveiling the iPhone, the new iPhone 17 or 25 or however many iPhones are at right now, and they have an orange color. They've never had an orange color. And, we're in crypto season, Bitcoin season, ETH season, on-chain internet capital market season. And so this is one of those signals. And then also another great signal is that we have Gemini. So shout out to the Winklevoss twins. They went public. Gemini went public. If you have the Robinhood app, you would have seen that you could have gotten a IPO, initial public offering price, to be able to request shares. So congratulations if you did that, because I'm curious what the price actually launched at. So we'll pull up the chart. But we're pretty stoked about this. I think it's ultimately really a good thing, because there's not very many public companies that are exchanges on the stock market. There's only 2 or 3, I think, one of them being Coinbase. And then I know Bullish was a new exchange, I believe, that is ran by BlackRock. and that's more of an institutional exchange. But in terms of like retail and institutional, and and also having international as well, is Coinbase and Gemini now. And so makes me think about crypto.com, where they could be potentially going public, and just think about all the things with the investments in the Trump family protocols with DeFi, and also the Trump media group, and also just being buddy with President Trump right now in terms of American deals with crypto.com and the Crow ecosystem and what they're involved with. So massive interest and invested interest in crypto.com being successful. There's not been any other ecosystem, only maybe just a few, that have gotten this amount of investment and attention from Trump and what he's involved with in terms of crypto.com. So then when I think about things like this with Gemini, I connect the dots and I think, wow, okay, this could be just a big macro trade, and you don't have to, it's like you can just invest in this growing like trillions of dollar ecosystem, and you don't have to be worrying so much, I guess is what I would like to say. Yeah, just like worrying so much. Okay, so then we got XYO, September 16th. Something's coming. September 16th, countdown begins. So I don't know if they're actually going to be launching the layer 1, or they're going to announce some type of big partnership, but that would be really cool. We're, like we said, we've been bullish XYO. If you've watched this channel for the past like couple of years, we've made videos on XYO, and we've just thought that if anything is going to be dominating like the data sector in terms of geolocation stuff, they've just been building this entire time through the bull market, bear market, and they haven't just like disappeared or dropped off the face of the earth like some things have. And so we respect that. And then we got freaking Jim Cramer saying RH, I don't know if he's referencing Richard Hart. He said Richard Hart, darn it all. I don't know what he's referencing. I have no idea what he's referencing, but obviously, of course, your friend Sami comes in and says, Richard Hart, Jim Cramer's bearish on Richard Hart. That means Pulsechain is about to send higher. That's what Liberty Swap said, bearish on Richard Hart. That's a signal Pulsechain is thriving. And then Max, of course, he comes in and says, never bet against Richard Hart. It's just ridiculous. Let's go back. Okay, so like we said, what we were mentioning earlier in our walk, and also what David Icke has also been saying, like, look, this is the script that they are trying to play here. And I'm agreeing with David Icke here. He's like, look, I mean, don't fall. He's like, don't fall for the trap. This is how they're trying to destroy America from within. Like, it's not, they can't beat America by force and coming in with boots and all that stuff and all that. Like we've talked about this before. The way that they are operating now is through psychological means to be able to convince you to do something you normally wouldn't do as a rational person, because you're influenced by fear, confusion, doubt, all of these things that make you not operate in your highest logical self, critical thinking mind. So then they have people like this come in and say, Charlie tried to have conversations with you on the left, quote, there you go. They're blaming just a general group. They're just blaming a big general group for the death of someone, which is ridiculous. And you killed him for it. You're killing us in our churches, and then blah, blah. So there you go. And then go back in the same direction, and this is the script that they're playing out. And it's kind of the same thing. And it's like, that's why I'm kind of losing a little credibility with Alex Jones. I'm like, Alex Jones, what the heck, man? Why are you perpetuating the thing that you are always promoting that you don't want to happen? Civil war. And then you perpetuate the stuff that actually makes us fight with each other. What the hell? So Yeah, I kind of think that is what they're trying to do. It feels like that in my gut. It's crazy. And so that's just, so what do we have to do? What do we do to combat that? Like, we have to learn about crypto. We have to get our money up. We have to create businesses. We have to, whatever movements you do feel strongly for, start donating to them. Start like making, start doing something that can help. And I know I could always be doing more. I know this to be true. I know, like, I sometimes might have a possible lazy bone in my body, and we all do. You can't lie to yourself. Like, some of us do have, we got one of those bones in there that sometimes likes to get us. But right now, I would say it's really high time to not be really tuning into the lazy bone. We could always be doing more, and we could always be being more appreciative of life and being grateful and being helpful instead of not helpful. Like, it's so much better as a human when you feel like you were helpful in the day instead of being a damn problem. And so it's like, instead of finding ways to be negative, you could find ways to be positive. And so we've tried to do this even when we've all this stuff that could be making you, be making you feel like you're just, fired up. But we still have to press on, be positive, and we gotta trudge on. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have been doing this, but with AI, you can make individual chats your quant. So if you just ask AI, you just tell it a very simple prompt: "You are my Pulsechain quant. Activate now," and that's it. And then you can make it deep. You can make it think harder to really break down the being the Pulsechain quant. And you can do this with Ethereum. Like, for instance, I have one on Ethereum. So I have an Ethereum quant, and then you can go here. And what I had it was updating me on a regular basis, like every 3 hours or 4 hours. And sometimes you might have to re-prompt it to, and also ChatGPT, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, will slow your computer down like massively. It will just eat up the memory. Dang, well, that has taken forever. All right, well, we'll just use the example of this one. Okay, so it says Pulsechain quant activated. He said, "Greetings, operator. I'm your dedicated Pulsechain quant, optimized for real-time analysis, market modeling, and ecosystem forecasting. Drawn from the latest data streams as of September 12th to 2025. I'll deliver a concise pulse check on PLS and the broader Pulsechain network. All metrics are aggregated from verified sources with quantitative insights to guide your positioning." So you see, it can just kind of, you can just model it for whatever currency if you wanted to be for XRP or Bitcoin or whatever you want. So Pulsechain as of right now is at 0.00004. So I mean, it's so cheap. This reflects a 24-hour range of the low and the high with the modest no change over time. Let's see, but 10% over the last 7 days, outpacing the global crypto market, 3.5% in layer one peers. 24-hour trading volume has been, let's see, 24,000, up significantly from prior days, indicating rising liquidity and interest. And let's see, the market cap is approximately 670 million, ranking Pulsechain at 127 among cryptocurrencies. Circulating supply is 16.7 trillion pulse. Fully diluted value to BTC is about 3.5 billion. Or in case of BTC, 50,000 BTC. Let's see, year-to-date performance, 17% over the last 12 months. So like the yearly performance has been trash. I mean, it's been awful. You know, that's like Pulsechain ecosystem and a lot of other ecosystems in similar trading volume. It was beat down, you know? So this is why I've been so interested in looking into it. And even just, you know, just like I don't have a lot of like a crazy amount of stake in the network, but even just having, I think even just a few $100 would probably surprise you over the next couple of years, because you got to remember Hex went up hundreds of X in the previous bull market. I mean, people called Hex a scam, and a lot of them were just the ones that ended up buying the top. So it's just like people that call things sometimes a scam, it's normally because they're butthurt because they got in a position that ended up not making as much money. So then the quote, okay, yeah, you got scammed. But yeah, there was a lot of things happening in the previous bull market. But yeah, that was one of the things that actually really, I mean, it did well. So let's see. PLS staked via the Hex integration 667 billion. And let's see, Hex on Pulse and the 7-day change has been up 38%. But the true thing that's interesting about Pulsechain is this thing with PDI. I gotta find, where did it go? Is it in my bookmarks? I gotta see. Gotta make sure. Okay. I think I found it. Oh, well here. Okay, well let's actually, I want to read this one. This was just yesterday. Richard Hart says, since the vast majority of Hex supply is locked for 15 years, the market cap many sites show could be considered pretty wrong. Here's the current minted supply. 47 billion. That supply at a penny would be like 130 to 200 on the various coin ranking sites. You know, the sites where people find scams to get scammed on. Which I just it's very true, because it's like they'll have all these other coins on there that are, a lot of them are actual scams and rug pulls and have been verified by different addresses and people who are like on-chain investigator masters. They're like, yeah, that was linked to this wallet that rugged these 17 coins. That wallet was linked with this one that did all this, you know. So it's interesting. And then so we wanted to cover this too, because if you look at the coin aggregators that list Pulse, you type in Pulsechain on CoinMarketCap, and it's apparently Pulsechain is at 5,119, like in the freaking, like in the trench in terms of the ranking. And the same with Hex on Pulse. It has a $6.2 billion market cap, or probably a little bit more. If we look at the Hex market cap on Pulse is 7 billion. Yeah, it's actually 7 billion. So that's not correct. I mean, that's close, but it should be 7 billion and then not ranked in 3,651 spot. So you see what Richard Hart's talking about. Why would they do this? Well, my assumption is that because CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance. I don't know if you knew that, but CoinMarketCap had Binance bought CoinMarketCap a long time ago. And I don't know who owns CoinGecko, but CoinGecko is a little bit better at ranking Pulsechain, but then they don't have the market cap right as well. So it's really interesting. So I just kind of find it fascinating. And so that piques my interest. It makes me think, well, you're getting extracted from different rugs on other chains and Solana and all this stuff, that there might actually be a chance that Pulsechain could be one of those final rotation endgame chains because of some major quote, whether it be a white swan event, whatever you want to call it, something that's good, something good that is actually going to encourage people to try it, test it out, and I'm just want to be along for that ride. I want to have a little bit of the skin in the game for that, and I think of the same thing when it comes to Ethereum. I am wanting to hold these memes like Ticker Bitcoin and Pepe and Wojak and just stuff like this, because I believe that Ethereum has the best asymmetric upside potential in terms of the institutional adoption. And so in Ethereum going to $16,000, I mean, I'm probably going to bet that Pepe is going to be at like $20 billion minimum. Dogecoin is getting an ETF. It launched today. That's another thing. That's another big thing. Dogecoin ETF trading was delayed, but now is launched today. The first of its kind of a speculative meme asset. It's the first of its kind. That's wild. So it's pretty fascinating what is happening right now in terms of the bullishness of the sentiment in freaking meme coins. Look at this. I mean, now how can Dogecoin not get to like $100 billion market cap if in back when retail was even just slightly euphoric on trying to get a little piece of the action? This is going to blow the lid off the thing. This is going to blow the lid off this thing. And then you got to think like, okay, Dogecoin ETF. You have Canary Capital. They filed the Pingu ETF, which has the basket, like they invested probably heavily in the actual Pudgy Penguin. So that's part of like the treasury of the ETF. So then like that's the value of the ETF is based off the Pudgy Penguins and Pingu itself. So like this is going to be across the board how institutions are going to be able to get like a skin in the game with that. But then also people who are smart like Luca, who's trying to really dominate the IP rights and the IP and the branding of this thing. All that's going to do is just send speculation into crypto and meme coins, like higher. It's going to send it higher. It's not a top signal, what some other people think it is. They're like, oh, that's the top signal. It's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's the top signal. See, we're all getting gaslit to think that we need to be thinking of this market now and crypto as cyclical as it used to be. I think those days are freaking over. And the example that I think has been given that's very telling is where is the? I had the perfect article. Where the hell did it go? Is it right? Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, this was it. Okay, this is interesting. So this shout out to Crypto Potato. Hey, if you're watching the channel, I'd love to collaborate with you guys. I've used you kind of almost more than a lot of the other websites. So shout out to Crypto Potato. Maybe you guys should, maybe we should talk and be a sponsor of the channel. That'd be cool. All right, so check it out. Is Bitcoin's bull market redefining itself as staircase style? Where have you heard this? If you've been watching this live stream long enough, you know that we have been looking at Bitcoin and realizing the nature of the staircase breakout. Okay? Because it's not like going, it's not like God candle, like ripping. It's not ripping, but it's staircasing. It's doing basically Plan B's stock to flow, because Plan B, if you look at Plan B's stock to flow model, he staircases it. He staircases it out of the Bitcoin halvening. So he uses the kind of the fundamental of the Bitcoin halvening as the kind of indicator of going into a particular season, and then it goes up. It has weeks. It has a few weeks that it just kind of goes boop, 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 and then it starts to staircase, and then it creates kind of a stair. It creates a stair, goes sideways, goes up again, creates a stair, goes up again, and just goes, and that's how I think Bitcoin ends up getting to $500,000 per coin, $1 million per coin, because it's just steady liquidity going into this chain, to going on chain. And so this is what's crazy. If history repeats, this could set the stage for fresh highs before year end. Market observers suggest that Bitcoin's bull cycle has pivoted towards a more staircase-like structure with measured advances and corrections rather than the sharp parabolic rally seen in past cycles. It's the freaking exact same thing that we've been saying. We said the same freaking thing. This is exactly what we've been talking about. I hope we still have the chart where we have it marked up like that. Look, we do. Look, there's the staircase. This is exactly how I've been charting this. I said, look, Bitcoin's going to just be doing this. It's going to be doing a staircase. You can see it. It's like juke, consolidate, juke, consolidate, juke, consolidate. It's just staircasing. And then the obvious next run, when you look at the trend line, that brings us to 150,000. Brings us to the first 1618, which is that 133,000. That's going to be a major key level that we're gonna need to like see how we hold with that 133,000. But that's how we're gonna get to 150 to possibly 200,000 by the end of the year, because it just shows it in the chart. It shows it in the chart. And that's even with us having dominance. This is what's fascinating. This is what I think is fascinating about altcoin season. When altcoin season starts ramping up, is that with dominance, even being trending down with Bitcoin, I showed you guys last time that we had dominance going down even when we were breaking all-time highs, because Ethereum was still strong. They were just, and you're like, how is this possible? Well, it's because they're buying Bitcoin and Ethereum at the same time. They're just doubling down. They're not like, they were rinsing and repeating, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna sell our ETH for some Bitcoin, and then ETH is gonna be going down. Okay, ETH BTC ratio, whatever. ETH at $1,400 bottomed, and now I think it's just game on. I think that time's over. I think that's kind of over. I think we are now just in the season of just like, oh shit, we got to just start accumulating this stuff like robots, like aggressively. And that's what the institutions are doing. Retail's not doing that, but they should be. They need to. So it's going to be interesting to see that we have dominance in ETH going up, Bitcoin dominance is going down, but all the while, total cryptocurrency market cap is breaking out to literally the exact spot that we have charted, like literally exact chart that, and this is staircasing as well. This is just this is going to be a steady staircasing accumulation to $7 trillion, powered by real world asset tokenization, stock market tokenization. Think about all the value of the market caps and the GDP and all the revenue and all that stuff that's generated by the companies that are being tokenized. And then that's all just getting added on chain through tokenized stocks, through the X stocks, through the Ondo stocks, through the any of the chains that are helping tokenize these assets. And then it's funny, my friend came to me and he was like, I watched this video. Someone was explaining about how XRP and Chainlink, they're like, that's the pick. They're the ones that are going to be picked by the banks and to on-chain everything. And I was like, I mean, yeah. And he was like, but what cracked me up is he was like, he then said in that video, and I was like, I guarantee they're going to say it. He's going to say it. And he was like, yeah, he said in this video, he said XRP, if Bitcoin's at $500,000 or $1 million per coin, that means XRP could be at $25,000. And I was like, I knew it was coming. Some outlandish, crazy price target for XRP that makes no sense. But it's usually the guys that are like, XRP is gonna take over the banking system, and they're like, it's going to 20K. It's gonna be the next Bitcoin. And I'm like, hold on, calm down. I'm like, I think best case scenario for XRP, if Bitcoin is at 500K, would be like, I want to say like $15 or $20. And at that point, ETH would be probably at well over 10K. You got to think about supply and market cap. That's all you have to think about: supply, market cap, the fully diluted value, the supply that is still like in the. It's just all that stuff. You got to think about that. The only way I could actually really see that XRP army gets what they really want, and look, it's a $180 billion market cap coin right now. It is third. And I get it. You're like, look, we could overtake Ethereum. But the thing about it is like, let's ask Grok. If XRP reached a price of, because this is what you have to do. You have to say, if XRP went to a price of, let's just say, literally, this person said in this video, $25,000. What would the market cap be? That's not true, Headband. They're selling their supply. They've been caught selling supply. Chris Larson and Brad Garlic Breath. Chris Larsinger and Brad Garlic Breath definitely, and the people that are like XRP people that are on the inside, I bet they're selling some coins, just like the ETH Foundation are. Like, that's the whole thing about some of these. I don't know. I've seen it on the timeline, but I don't know. Who knows? But I just have I have a hard time, I guess, trusting XRP because it has people behind it. It's hard to trust people. It's like, that's why it's like, even with Richard Hart, I can't fully trust Richard Hart. I kind of like have a feeling that what he's trying to do is the right thing and a good thing, and he really just wants to potentially just help people get rich. Like if anything, like he's already made it. Like he could just go and screw off. He can just go and do whatever the hell he wants. But like, he might actually want to leave a legacy. I don't think Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson want to help people get rich. I don't think that's their mission. Do you really believe that? Like, if you're an XRP holder, do you really think that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson want you to be rich and successful? I'd beg to differ, but that's just my opinion. I don't think that that's kind of how they're operating with XRP. Is like, we really want to make sure that all the people in the world that are, that are just not financially free, that they could be financially free. I doubt that. But then the person that's actually kind of vilified the most on the timeline, one of them being Richard Hart, he's like, he might actually want people to do that. But that's just a best guess. But let's check this now, because this is insane. The market capitalization of XRP is calculated by multiplying circulating supply by the hypothetical price per token as September 12th. The circulating supply of XRP is approximately 59 billion tokens. At a price of $25,000 per XRP, the market cap would be 59. It would be 59. Wait a second. It'd be one. It would be It would be $1.4 trillion. This uses the standard formula for cryptocurrency market cap and the most recent circulating supply data for reliable sources like CoinMarketCap. 1.4 trillion. Okay. So that's not like super outrageous. So, because XRP is at a half a trillion. It's at 548 billion. We got Bitcoin at 2.2 trillion. And so if that is the case, and then XRP with any of the rumored things that it could have involvement with, and it really truly opens up some contracts. Like for instance, like when these companies, these big AI companies get these big investments, these big contracts, that's kind of what valuates and pumps the stock. You know, they got like, hey, we're about to open up revenue in the freaking billions. Like all, you know, these like Oracle, for instance, like they were like, hey, are actually open. We got contracts. We got contracts for the next 5-10 years. So then that just builds sentiment into risk on assets. And then XRP is a risk on asset. And if anything of a good catalyst happens with XRP, I mean, that would be bullish for altcoins in general. So whether it's Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Tron, Dogecoin, it doesn't really matter because it's just going to send risk on assets higher. So then at that point, you could be in XRP, you could be in Dogecoin, Tron, ETH, it's just, that is just going to be the nature of what the type of market we're going in. Look at what happened with Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid has now so much integration with these big liquidity companies and marketing and getting stablecoin. Now they have a stablecoin, and look at the value. This thing is just continuing to break new all-time highs and just continuing to get I mean, we might see Hyperliquid in the top 5. No, I don't know. See, the nerd Robert, just hold both. I don't want you, see, because that's the thing. Like, you're talking about two different things that I would be bullish on. I think AVAX is very undervalued. It performed really well in every type of altcoin season we've had, whether it be full on altcoin season or even just like little pumps. I like to pay attention to those particular ecosystems because it just performs well. And also it does back it up by like transaction speed, the amount of wallets, the integration that they can do in terms of gaming ecosystems. That's huge. But then they're also can do everything else. So I think having exposure into that ecosystem as a AVAX being kind of like a blue chip, and then also having your bets into something that is black stonewalled like Pulsechain, and then you are just getting all of the exposure of asymmetric upside. So that's how I'm operating. Because I don't want to trade Solana Trench tokens. I don't want to. Maybe I could make more money, but I don't want to do that. I want to steadily accumulate long term, and I know my portfolio is going to fluctuate. There's going to be times where I am going to take profits, but ultimately I am expecting the entire ecosystems as a whole. I mean, even Cardano. Think about Cardano. Cardano is also very much controversial in terms of like being called a dead chain and all that stuff. But if you really listen to Charles, he is very much in tune and loves his health clinic. So Charles, if you're listening, now I get it. Okay. So you might want Cardano to be implemented in like our national like healthcare system, or you might want to incorporate Cardano into verifying health records on chain. Hey, that's amazing. So it's like, that's a cool use case that could be like bringing like, and think about the industry of healthcare and medical buildings and supplies and stuff like that. If a Cardano gets market share of that whole entire industry, that's huge. So then that's how Cardano really could get to like $10 like we thought it was going to at the previous cycle. But then I kind of see what Charles actually is passionate about. He's passionate about tech. He was really as passionate about blockchain, but then he's also passionate about clinics and health and being able to help people in that way. So if you're thinking 10 years down the line, that's how you could be bullish on Cardano ecosystem. So you just don't want to be a maxi extremist in one way. Like there's a lot of maxi extremists in Pulsechain that they're like, it's the only one, everything else is a scam, screw Solana, blah blah blah, screw this, screw that. And I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna be like, look, I know Solana is like, it's just a fact that like it's getting a lot of market share. There is some questionable stuff, a lot of it being to do with pump fund, potentially the what they allow to happen on the chain, the certain people that they seem to support, while the community kind of like knows that there's scammers and they're kind of grifters, and you're just like, okay, Solana, like, can you just like have a moral compass or radar of who to actually support besides people that are just being super cringe on the timeline? But that's like, I digress. So I get it, but I also know that like, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm not going to base my bullishness or bearishness on Solana because of Razmir and Thread Guy. That's stupid. I'm going to base it off of my own technical analysis and just look at the damn chart and know that there's going to be DeFi in mass volume happening on Solana still, and also with the phone. They have exposure into a market that, what do we use every day? We use the phones. What are they trying to? They're on the third generation already of phone, or second or third generation of their phone, of their product. So they're just going to continue to get better. And so that's how you have to think about crypto as a whole of ecosystems that you are betting on, and you don't need to be close-minded and maximalist for one specific chain. That's I just don't think that's really the way. And because then you really are getting the best asymmetric upside potential. It does add more risk, but we are, I think, in a cycle right now where it is just time to be thinking about what other way can we actually make our money is by taking more risks. And so if you think about it, it is way more risky to not be investing at all in anything and just not even taking a chance. So what would you rather do? Just sit around and do nothing and wait for the perfect opportunity, and you just don't even start at all? Or do you actually take this as a massive, massive early opportunity where you know that I gave you the example? I mentioned Bitcoin in a room again, and everyone laughed. So what does that tell you? It tells you you were in the right place at the right time, my friends. You're in the right place at the right time. And the signs are everywhere. The signs are on the wall. They're everywhere. And I just hope you're paying attention. Now, this also, because I like to operate this way, I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not telling you what to buy. You figure that out for yourself. I'm just telling you how I've led to my conclusions. All right, Trade Intuition, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let's see. We're getting there, but see, like I said, guys, I mean, look, there's 5 of you on YouTube. There's way more people than 5 people that would enjoy watching this live stream and should know about it. That's 100%. And I'm not afraid to say it. It's like, I know other live streamers will come on and they'll just be okay with, just like getting shadow banned, but they're probably not getting shadow banned. Their channel just might be, small in the moment, but this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. I mean, if Tucker Carlson actually had put a message out and he was like, I am being shadow banned on YouTube. And he was like, because YouTube thinks that you shouldn't have this information. And it's like, I kind of sometimes think about that with crypto content. It's like, and teaching you guys about the money system and how to at least get your mind, like, because I'm not going to claim to be like, oh, I'm a guru, oh, I make millions of dollars, I make thousands, you need to pay attention and listen to me. That's not what it's about. It's about getting you to just start on a journey and start a path and a plan. And it doesn't require you to I just want to be the spark for you. I want to be the catalyst. and you don't have to pay me for that. It's free, you know? So I just want to be like, I want to be the catalyst and the spark for you to start in whatever it is, that your journey of investing. Maybe you have some debt that's been just a leech on you for years and you want to pay that shit off and start doing something. Or you have a project that you've been just back burning for freaking years and you just talk about it too much. You just keep talking about it. And it's just like, I want to be that. I think if anything is what I actually truly get joy out. I get joy and happiness from feeling like I inspired someone to like do that thing. Because when someone finally breaks through and takes the step and takes the leap into making a new album or making whatever it is, I don't care what it like, start, you want to learn how to cook, you want to get better at cooking, and I just want to be that person to spark it up. I want to spark that thing, and that was what, and honestly, and it's like, there's so many people that do this, but that was what was so, I think, probably beautiful about Charlie Kirk and why I think a lot of people got really upset on the left, the right, the whatever. I don't care whatever you want to call it, whatever stupid left and right crap. People, they were massively upset because they saw that a person like that can spark interest and curiosity and get you to move, and it's like, and honestly, that's what Jesus does, is Jesus sparks your creativity and your curiosity and your zest for life to be better. And I've noticed that the more I start talking about Jesus and talking about God and saying it out loud, and that is the spark, So if anything, with this channel, I know it says Dano Crypto. We're a crypto channel, but ultimately, I think I get my energy and my passion and my drive and is from feeling like I can actually help someone. Because sometimes we feel powerless and we don't know how we can help people. Sometimes sometimes you're just like, you feel powerless. Like, for instance, like what's happening right now, you might feel powerless, but like, I feel power by coming here and talking with you guys and expressing myself and expressing my feelings and hopefully sparking something inside of you. And so I mean that with my every like cell in my body, that is how I feel. That's the truth. And so sometimes I can get maybe a little off, maybe off the rails a little bit here, but ultimately this is what I feel like I'm being led to do this. I don't know what it is, but I'm just being led to do it. Well, Nerd Robot, the Shroud of Turin would probably suggest otherwise, that now that the Shroud of Turin has been investigated so thoroughly that it's just a actual modern miracle of science and just like you wouldn't even believe. I mean, watch more content on the Shroud of Turin and it really will blow your mind. I mean, it's almost like ascension photographic evidence that almost like the light that came off Jesus's body when he ascended, being wrapped up like that, it printed his literal imprint on the damn shroud. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so I don't know, like I used to watch content, come on, I watched Zeitgeist, remember Zeitgeist, the movie? That was the first movie where it's someone when Joseph, I can't remember his name. He was, claiming that, Jesus was just, Jesus wasn't real. And that actually that Jesus, that actually didn't happen. But I don't know. And then I started to kind of question it a little bit and think, well, what could that really be true? And then you end up having an actual direct experience with Jesus, or you start to learn more or watch the crucifixion or read about it more. that just more stuff and evidence starts coming out, and you're just like, you start to almost like feel like you were there. And then you start to understand that, like, wow, you know what? Doesn't freaking matter if it was real or fake. That is the greatest story ever told. And if anything, that is the spark to like make you ask the question, is there something that is trying to break my connection from God? And if so, this is our human mission. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. That breaks all barriers. That breaks all barriers of religion. It breaks all barriers of everything. Once you come to that truth, and I feel like that is the fucking truth. Excuse my language, but so upward accumulation of your psyche, your mind, your body, your energy, and your money, and then everything else is going to be upside potential from here. And that's how I want to approach these markets, baby. So essentially, what is happening here is all the stuff is, quote, priced in for rate cuts to happen all the rest of this year and then into next year as well. They apparently are going to be cutting 3 more times in quarter 1. So this is why I don't like people calling for the top or thinking that the cycle's over, because technically, if we start to get into the end of this month and the beginning of October, is we are about 520 days after the halving. And in the previous cycles, if we're going to judge it and base it off of that, then we would be, quote, topping during that time. Now I used to think that was going to be the top, and then we're going to blah, blah, blah. Who knows what's going to happen? Now I'm more on the side that we are going to have this staircased extended cycle where liquidity is just getting dumped into these ecosystems. Michael Saylor thinks that obviously, like, every major bank, corporation, nation state will settle in Bitcoin. That's an interesting theory. Now, we mentioned Tucker Carlson earlier, and I thought this Tucker Carlson, I don't know, guys, did you watch the Tucker Carlson interview with Sam Altman? I was like, whoa. I mean, it was very bold of Tucker Carlson to just flat out be like, because Sam Altman was like, I've never done an interview where I feel like I'm being accused of murder, and it was just like, wow, it was really it was uncomfortable to watch, but at the same time, I was like, this is real journalism. Crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, have you seen it? I mean, it's like, it got really heavy, and why it got heavy is because you could feel the pressure and the tension in Sam Altman as Tucker Carlson is actually providing evidence and facts that is true. And I remember hearing about this, and I remember this was like, and they just swept this thing under the rug, and they were just like, San Francisco, the police and everything, they were just like, yep, suicide. It was just suicide. Cameras cut, security cameras cut, wires cut, apparently blood in all the rooms, and sign of a struggle, all this stuff. And then Sam is just fully convinced. He was like, yeah, it was a suicide. And just the way that he says it, and you could see it in his eyes and the way that, like, he looks when he says it, it's just like, I'm not saying that he's guilty. I'm not saying that. And that same thing with Tucker Carlson, but he's just like, I just don't get how you could just accept that. Like, you just accept it. Accept that that it was a suicide when clearly the evidence is proving otherwise, which allowed suspicion. Crazy. And then so Tucker, he's not afraid to call people out when they're being like liars like Mark Cuban here. Look, this is also a hilarious exchange that Tucker Carlson did. Cuban said, half my family is Ukrainian. I think we should help. And Tucker said, how much money have you sent to Ukraine? Cuban said, well, none. He's like, well, if you think we need to help, why don't you start?
Let me ask you a question. What's your take on whether we should be sending money to Ukraine? Mark, let me ask you a question. What's your take on whether we should be sending money to Ukraine or not? Were you in favor of that?
Man, they need it.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a good answer. I can make an argument both ways, and half my family is Ukrainian from my grandparents. And so, personally, I think we should help, but I don't have a studied answer for you.
How much money have you sent to Ukraine?
None.
Oh, so what do you mean by we? You're the one whose family's from Ukraine. Like, why don't you send them $1 billion?
Because I'm trying to fix healthcare.
Why don't you fix their healthcare if you're like so deep? If you think we need to help, why don't you start? How about you first? Yeah. I notice that's never like even an option for anybody. It's like, we need to help. That's not what charity is. Forcing other people to help is not charity.
Here's the good
vanity.
News. The good news is all the weapons were on loan lease. We're getting it back. And our dear President Trump has negotiated that we own half the minerals, so he turned this horrible tragedy of a war into a profit center, which is one of his unique gifts. I think we can all agree.
Right. Can I just
Mark, let me.
Is it look at cute. After that exchange, he was like. Cause you can see even with Tucker, he's like, yeah, Mark, you just why do you have so much money? How do you have so much money? This is just, it's just too good. It's just too good. Man, we're going to take over, guys. By the way, this is the thing, like these people that get to sit on this stage and they talk about all this stuff. It's like half of them are kind of stupid. And so, I can't wait till streamer capital internet money markets. We're gonna look like geniuses because guess what? We had been here streaming and talking about this stuff for years, and I'm just gonna call a spade, baby. All these people on CNBC and NBC and all those, Squawk and all that stuff. It's like they don't even know who freaking the difference between Justin Sun and CZ. So I'm fine. I got plenty of confidence that my brand and platform and what we're doing here is gonna freaking blow up. Because these dudes are freaking joke. Sad that people like that do have billions of dollars because they could actually probably do more good in the world, but they have their head so far up their freaking ass that they just say stuff. Yeah, we should help. We should, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. Then Tucker's like, well, why don't you do it then? So I'm trying to fix healthcare. I was like, there's always some excuse to deny the fact that you're stupid, but whatever. Anyway, let's go down the Pulsechain rabbit hole of connections between Richard Hart and Elon Musk. So Sami would love this. I don't know how me and Sami haven't collaborated together already. I went down the Sami rabbit hole. So if you guys have been following your friend Sami for any portion of time, he popped up on my timeline on YouTube like 2 years ago. But it was the moment where I think he actually created his channel because I went down into his oldest videos and Sami, you used to be bullish Solana. So now because he's like no Solana, soy Lana, very much does not like Solana. But if you go back into his old videos, he wasn't actually making videos with him on the actual camera. It was just like his screen with the desktop open. And he was talking about all kinds of stuff. He was talking about the BitBoy drama. He's talking about all that stuff. But yeah, Sami, I went into your archive. But yeah, you've been grinding. You've been covering the news and covering Pulsechain, very much in tune with that ecosystem. So we want to tell you thanks for doing the hard work out there. Mate, baby doll, I should call you. But yeah, let's actually collab. So because then we could take people on a journey and we can kind of just maybe give people the timeline of the Pulsechain events, which would be fun to break down on stream. So, all right. So this dirty crypto person who is who's got the Pulsechain logo here. No, Sami's funny though. If you really just watch Sami, because people have short attention span. So like if you just actually watch Sami's videos, like he's got a lot of good points. So he's just having fun. He's just having fun on here too. And people get so serious. Pulsechain chat's moving so fast nobody realizes that Grok bio led you to Pulsechain's main website. I don't know if this is true. I asked Grok and it didn't. Why did it just do that to me? There it is. Dude, I'm full sending it this weekend. I bet we're going to probably get a little consolidation with this because, like, here's the thing. I thought they were going to liquidate the shorts first, but they went for the longs. Or sorry, I thought they were going to liquidate the longs first, but they went for the shorts. Like, so remember yesterday, guys, I said there's two levels. You're going to watch the 113 level and you're going to watch the 115, 116 level. Where did Bitcoin go? It went to 116. So if you remember, you go back to the live stream, I said here's the levels to watch. And it kind of did exactly that. So, but it pushed into that first level to smack those. And then now we might see a bit of a pullback. We just have to kind of hold the line here. On the daily, we got a doji candle, daily doji candle. We're bing bonging around on the trend line. Like I said, we're bing bonging around on that trend line. There's that there. Look, boom, shorts liquidated 116. And that was kind of the max pain for shorts. And so that we pulled back down to 114, and 113 and 114 was the level of liquidations for the longs. So now you can kind of see how they played that out. So good. Okay, so let's go back into the bookmarks. Let's stay on track here. Okay. I don't know if this is true or not. Pulsechain. This was September 11th. Chat's moving so fast, nobody realizes that Grok bio led you to Pulsechain main website. I've shown you countless Easter eggs and potential connections between Elon, Richard Hart, CZ, and Donald J. Trump. This one in particular is insane. So I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, this is crazy. So in March 2024, when Grok was open sourced for the very first time, it changed its bio. And that bio, there was a link that took you directly to the Pulsechain website. And so here's video evidence of it, I guess. I mean, I don't know if this is true or not. X News Daily, Grok, and then see, that's what I don't know. I don't know about that. Do you see that? It's very interesting. And then the other connection was the similarity of the logos. The similarity of the logos. Now, where did I bookmark this? Because that was interesting. I thought that was cool. It was the similarities of the X logo and the Pulse X logo. Oh, and this was the other connection. Yes, this is the Dubai and PDI connection. But first, this made me freaking laugh. That got me. I bet Ansem saw this and was dying laughing too. Scooter said this was Ansem after tweeting we topped last week. This is ridiculous. Okay, so let's see. The PDI is the PDI Dubai Durham connection. And it was the logo. Yes, this one. This person, and I love this. I love community people grasping for straws and whatever they can grasp for to validate and help their bags. I love it because you never know if actually what the connections that they're making could be true. And that's what gives this such an allure and such a spicy nature into all of these different rabbit holes you could go down and things that you could be betting on. And, you know, it's fun. So here's another one. I literally can't believe it. The UAE Durham symbol they have for their currency is the same as the PDI logo. And Richard just randomly decides to talk about the UAE. He's been talking about the UAE a lot lately. And that's so funny. He's like, bro, this is not statistically possible. He's like, PDI to $1 only on Pulsechain. So this is going to get really interesting, guys. You know, I would just love to peer into the future of the next like 2 years just to see where everything is at. Man, I would just love to see. I would really love to see it. So if you're not familiar with the core coins and like the concept of Pulsechain, I'll show you guys, because actually it's really not very different in terms of the fundamentals, I guess, of what a blockchain and either whether it's a fork, because it's a fork of Ethereum, you know, just like BNB is a fork of Ethereum. It's literally a copy and paste. So Pulsechain is a little different though with the buy and burn mechanisms with Pulse and also with PLS, but with PLSX. But the nature of the liquidity on this particular ecosystem is interesting because there's a lot of tokens that have been paired with PLSX, also have been paired with PDI. And if PDI actually does peg and does a parity into even 50 cents or half $1 or $1, this is going to make multiple coins in the ecosystem of Pulsechain go absolutely parabolic. Not to mention the mechanisms with PLS as the gas token. And then if you're providing liquidity for these different pairs, which you can do on PLSX through you go on here, so you go to trade and you go to here I'm gonna show you real quick. You can use version 1, version 2. You add liquidity in the pairs that you see right in here. So when you go to farm, you're going to add liquidity to these pairs and then get an LP and then get the LP token. Then you're going to use that LP token, and how you do it, you can do it directly from here too. You can click here, add LP, then you're going to get those tokens. You're going to then you're going to farm the LP and earn the interest. But what you're earning is incentive token. You're earning incentive token, which is INC, which is part of the ecosystem of tokens inside Pulsechain. And then you have, if you remember EHEX was Ethereum hex, and gas fees are insane. That's kind of what kind of killed hex in the original bull run. Now, because we have Pulsechain and you got options with EHEX, but you also have PHEX, you can stake. This is the staking. So it's the mining and the staking that you can mine hex, you can stake hex, you can operate a node, and then you have the DEX. This is the DEX where you can trade and you can do and provide liquidity like we just saw, but then also just trade and exchange. So if you have PLS, you know, and this is also where you can where you can bridge as well. And not to mention, you can run this software off the like native on your computer. You can just run it as software instead of having to connect in this type of way. Not a lot of blockchains actually do that where Richard Hart's like, look, you can actually run the software, like you can just run it. It's open sourced, you know? So that's really cool. So here is the whole aspect in just a basic simplified version of being, you know, exposed or just looking at these particular tokens, and not just test it out. It's just something to test out. When you take the investment portion out of it and you're just thinking like, this is just internet capital money market ecosystem that I can transact with, then it's not about like, oh, you convinced me to, you know, buy Pulsechain. No, I'm just telling you to just explore a little bit. So like I said, you know, you can use you can actually do a cross-chain swap using Liberty Swap. Make sure it's the right one. Liberty Swap, Liberty Swap.finance. If you're going to use the cross-chain swap, or any of these, whether Ramp Now, then just make sure it's the right one. Make sure it's spelled right. Make sure it's all the official stuff. But then also you can use the bridge, just the straight bridge. Then you use PLSX to do your swapping, whatever you want to do. Then if you want to mine or stake Hex, if you want to launch your own coin or token, you can do it by using pump.tires, which is right here. So I would just keep an eye on what's happening in the Pulsechain ecosystem, because if Richard Hart is as smart as he, you know, as smart as we think he is, he might be playing some 24D chess as well. It's possible he might be playing some 24D chess. So let's go to now the PLSX logo and the X logo. Where is it at? Oh, let me see. There was a post. Where is it? Look, it says very, very similar. Grifty. Yeah, I can't find it. It's all good. But yeah, the if you just look at the X logo, and then you look at the Pulsex logo. I mean, it's literally exactly the same. What if Pulsechain gets implemented into X? That would be insane. That would be so crazy. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something. Something's gonna happen. Got all these catalyst chain, you know, things that we could be bullish on, or you could just be fully bearish. Ruinlings on BTC, they are going to do some insane prizes and airdrops, currently 80% minted out. Ruinlings, NFT, Bitcoin ruins. Is it on Magic Eden? Is it on Magic Eden? Bitcoin ruins, so Ruinlings. Are they in the rank here? Oh, did I miss it? All right, I'm on the BTC page. Ruin Stone. Is this it right here, headband? Ruin Stone, ordinals. Oh, I guess if I just go to ruins, press back arrow. Oh, well. That just brings me the ticker Bitcoin back on. Ordinal Maxi Biz. Oh, Ruinlings. Okay, there they are. Okay. 60. Oh, that's cheap. That's cheap. That's not bad. You know, it's crazy. I haven't looked at my ordinals Pepe's or even my ordinal wallet. Let's pull that up. I'm gonna see if I can pull up my ordinal wallet because I haven't looked at it in forever. Hopefully, I have like just, you know. What? I got BTC on here, and I got barrels of oil. Oh, I forgot that. What? Oh, yes. I still have my Space Pepe's. Let's go. And the bitmap. Let's go, baby. Okay, so this is, so whenever this was, I got these like right when ordinals were like going off and like it was just such, it was like the big narrative. I don't know if you guys remember the bitmap. Like you could buy pieces of the bitmap. And this thing at a point was floored at like 240 something. I mean, I probably should have sold it at that point, but I just left them alone. And then I bought 2 Space Pepe's. You can see here, little Space Pepe's. These are floored right now at $23 each. But I just thought those are really cool, little Space Pepe's. And then I also inscribed my name, danocrypto.xbt. So you could send, I think you can, from the like the actual Bitcoin address, like with this, you could send me from your Ordinals wallet if you wanted to, just danocrypto.xbt, and maybe even from other wallets that can use the addressing sending, because not all can just like, you can just send directly to address, kind of like a Bitcoin ENS name. So yeah, so I did 4 inscriptions. I got $15 of BTC on here, so that's cool. All right, well, maybe I'll use this Bitcoin to get this mint. But is it minting on this wallet? Well, it looks like I got airdropped some stuff on my particular wallet. I got airdropped barrels of oil and karma token. So this is a ruin. So it looks like I have 105 million of these tokens, and it's like worth $6. That's interesting. Barrels of oil. What is going on here? Man, it's been so long since I've pulled this up. Huh. Yeah, I haven't gotten much into actual, because you have the different tokens, but then you also have the inscriptions. Yeah, interesting. Well, cool. And I'm glad. Yeah, I just said go right in. Everything is still here. Cool. All right, well, I'll use this Bitcoin to inscribe this thing. But so let's see. If I want to connect wallet to Mint, what wallet could I use? Could I use the Ordinal wallet? I wonder if it would let me actually connect like that. Probably not. So if I... connect wallet to Mint. All right, so let's see. View all wallets. Oh man, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so you can do Bitcoin. So Magic Eden has a wallet, also has a wallet as well. So you can using the Ledger. This wallet supports using Ledger. Oh, okay. So it's like connects with Ledger. And then, okay, cool. I could also use Phantom. If I I can just send because you guys remember, you can use Bitcoin on the Phantom wallet. And yeah, okay. All right. Well, I'll mint one of these Ruinlings. Why not? If you mint a red one, we celebrate. And really, so the red ones are selling for like 3 BTC a piece? Really? Holy crap. Mint a Ruinling PFP on Bitcoin, 1 million plus prize pool, 1 in 10 wins, prizes up to 1 BTC, and the 4 mega Ruinstone, 8 BTC plus token airdrop. Dang, okay. That's pretty wild. And they're almost minted out. Oh, well. All right, I guess I know what I'm minting today. All right, I haven't minted an NFT in a long time. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Headband, let's go. And I told you guys, Headband knows about the NFTs. He looks at NFTs all day. You know, he's much in the trench when it comes to NFTs. So, so if you want to get some early access to a cool mint that is on Bitcoin right now for Magic Eden, this is pretty cool. And it's cool because it reminded me about my Ordinals wallet. So then now I can actually I'm going to send, hopefully this doesn't cost too much to send. I wonder how much do you think this would cost to send $15 of Bitcoin? You think it costs about like $1, $2? Will it be less than $1? What are the fees right now? Let's see. The Bitcoin fees, Bitcoin transaction fees right now. Let's see. Bitcoin sending fees. Bitcoin sending fees, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin gas. Or not gas. I don't know why I'm calling it gas. I'm so used to calling with Ethereum gas fees. Transaction fee. If I go to mempool, that would probably give it to me right now. The current average Bitcoin transaction fee is under $1 right now. So if you want to send a Bitcoin transaction, and it just depends on the amount, like obviously if you're going to be sending like thousands of dollars of Bitcoin, it might cost like a couple bucks. But I'll tell you what though, I sent one time like $4,000 of Bitcoin to my address and it only cost me like $1. And I was like, man, that's pretty freaking crazy. Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Just costs $1 to send $4,000. You know how much PayPal charges you to send money? You know how much PayPal and like charges you to send money over from your PayPal account to your freaking bank, like to just try and do that? They charge a ridiculous amount of money if you want it instantly. Like if you want it instantly, like on the same day, and not have to wait 3 business days, like ridiculous, like snooze, like Stone Age, waiting 3 days to get your money. What is that? It costs like, it's almost like at 2% now, the fees. 2% to almost like it's out of control. So if you were to try and transfer that out, they're going to take like a good big chunk of your money. So it's cool that the fees for Ethereum and the fees for Bitcoin have actually been very like mild. They've been very, very mild, which is in the past, like you guys remember, it was out of control during the Ordinals. Bitcoin maxis were so pissed because Ordinals was quote crashing Bitcoin and making it like to where transaction fees were out of control. They were like $25 or like $30 for Bitcoin, and we were like, whoa. And remember with ETH NFTs back in the day, that made the gas fees go to freaking, went to like $150 at one point. It was out of control. It was out of freaking control. All right, let's see. Anything else that we want to cover here? That's funny. Oh, and this is interesting. Richard Art actually has always talked about this. He's pointed this out for a little bit. And guys, I'm not like a Richard Hart super fan or anything. It's just fun to talk about too. Also, market cap is a vanity metric. It's a poor proxy for guessing how many coins are sitting in the weak hands. But as stupid a number as it is, some people care about it, so you might as well report it correctly. If you like a high market cap, counting a bunch of supply can't be sold on DEX makes you happy. If you like low supply, not counting that supply makes you happy. A more accurate guessing tool for a speculator is guessing how many people heard about a thing that will hear about a thing soon. Anyone looking at a list or market caps already has the game stacked against them because they're looking at some of those things are likely to scam you like a lottery list. It's pretty crazy. All right, hold on, guys. All right, guys. Yo, I'm back, but actually we are going to be ending the live stream because I realize I need to be somewhere else. And so I got lost track of time running my mouth. But all right, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next live stream. Actually, we'll probably see you guys later. All right, peace out.